Hello everyone, my name is Muir, and this is Starsector version 0.95a. This is the Shrike, the dual AMB antimatter blaster Shrike. What it has is hardened subsystems and expanded magazines. Hardened subsystems I think is unlocked at start. Expanded magazines I think is also unlocked at start, but if not, you can find this one extremely easily. Basically what this does is this increases the charges for ballistic weapons that have charges by 50%. This normally has 20 charges, it now has 30. So, it also has this mining laser which acts as its point defense. We're not expecting this to kill anything. It's really just there to sort of shoot down missiles. But what's the strength of this? Well, let's look. First off, it's a Shrike. So, it can sort of do pirouettes in space if it really wants to. It can also pirouette through asteroids. But the main thing is that it has these two antimatter blasters. Now, this mining laser, again, we're not expecting it to really do anything or kill anything. We could sit here with it on this for a couple minutes and it wouldn't do much. However, you take these two antimatter blasters and, well, yeah. Each one of these blasters does something like 1,500 damage or something. It's ridiculous. But the main thing is that with a phase ship, you can just slip through the enemy lines, shoot people in the back, you can give them the prison treatment, as I jokingly call it, and you can shoot them in their exhaust ports, if you get my drift. And so, it works really well. When you get out of range, you just venture flex, or if it's a big ship that can't turn around, you just venture flex literally behind them and then shoot them more. Your weapons, see how slow they're recharging? See how slow they're recharging? Well, here's the thing. Right now we're going about, I don't know, twice normal speed or something like that. And our weapons are recharging normal speed for us, but faster for the real world. So, we, in fact, are able to make our weapons recharge much faster normally. Much faster like this. So, let's go ahead and put it up against something. The phase ship is 8 points, so let's go and put it up against 2 lashers. Why not? So, the AI with all ships is a little overly cautious in a way. But with Afflictors and other phase ships, they seem to be less passive. Now, what he wants to do is he wants to get behind the enemy ship where they can't do much. But he'll go for that nonetheless. You see how he is recharging like that, and then he sort of comes in. He's going to kill this guy, I think. If he can slip in. So he just did a ton of damage there. He's trying to avoid the other lasher, while not seeming to get that he could just end the fight. But this guy, he hasn't lost all of his flux. He's still very close to being potentially... There he goes. Now, thing is, in this case, this lasher's already dead. He just doesn't know it. And as we can see, like that mining laser is doing what it can, but it's just not good enough. It can't even kill one harpoon after being given ample time to do something with it. So I might just take it off and put the point somewhere else. But as we can see, he is able to very quickly and easily overpower these lashers without any major problems. Now he needs to run away and vent his flux, which I think he's going to do now. Unless... oh no, I see what's going on. His AI knows that the mining laser can still work. So his reaction is, well, as long as my mining laser works, I'm still doing damage. And so he'll sit there and use the mining laser to do damage. Which is not what we want him to do. He's going to try and go around the enemy and then shoot him. Hopefully more than once. Come on. Hey, there we go. The thing is, if he were to just vent right there, he'd be golden. The lasher wouldn't be able to do anything about it, and he could just close in. Now, that lasher is about as close to dead as it can get right now. What he needs to do is close in a little bit more, and, well, there we go. So as we saw, that mining laser was useless, so we're just going to get rid of that. And then, I don't know, we're going to put them somewhere else. Let's go back to here. But, the thing is, this is outrageously dangerous. Let's put it up against a carrier. A little bit more points than it's normal to deal with, but hey, it is what it is. This ship has the capacity to just kill those carriers, no problem, because the carriers send their fighters out to try and kill them. But it just depends. The mining laser seems like it's good because it's technically point defense. But at the end of the day, it's just absolutely... It's not absolutely useless, but it's mostly useless. Now, the AI tends to be overly frightened of bombs. These guys, they've dumped all their bombs. So now, he kind of has free range to just come and kill this guy. And the thing is, he will do that eventually. But I'm not sure how long that will take for him to actually come to that decision. We may have to just tell him to full assault to get him to actually do something. Let's see how his AI changes behavior based on that. This might be one of those situations where you actually need to command the ship to do something. And I'm assuming that it is. So you, kill this one. So now he should be a lot more aggressive against that one ship as opposed to spending his time dancing around all the fighters and the bombers. Because that's a mistake, and not one he wants to keep making. And so, there we go. Yeah, so if you want Afflictors to be particularly useful, you're going to need to order them to assault specific units, unless you want them to just act in a flanking sort of sense. Because right now he's solely focused on this condor. And he just wants to kill that one ship. So hopefully he'll get around to that sooner rather than later. He could have done it right there, but well, maybe not because of the shields. But he's gonna be getting there sooner or later. The main thing is, this isn't particularly limited to just this sole case. This single Afflictor could do this multiple times per battle. He could sit there, he could kill one Condor, then come around, kill another Condor, and another Condor, and another Condor. But it is taking him a while because he's looking for that perfect sweet spot where his ship just isn't in danger at all. Which is about right now. Now what he should do is stay in P space, or phase space, until it's safe for him to come out, and then shoot. I think he tried to shoot, and then, like, for some reason cancelled it somehow. And did you hear that? Wow. That's literally him trying to cancel it, I think. So his AI is trying to find out a safe place for him to come out of P space. And there we go. So let's go ahead and take this. And since it still has a lot of since it still has at least some of its combat readiness to go before it starts to decay. Let's go ahead and see what it looks like when when a player's flying it, and you'll know, and you'll figure out why. You'll figure out very quickly why I tend to like phase ships. So one, we can just hold off to the very end, make a lot of different distance between ourselves and the enemy fighters, and make our way after the carriers. We can more or less just ignore the fighters for the most part. So, I know that this will hurt. But I also know that he's 2 steps away from death at this point. Now, the salamanders don't really matter to me because we can just tank the minuscule amount of damage that they do, but also we could just fix ourselves in P space, so it's not a big deal. Now, we want to try and hit this guy before his shields come back online, which we did, and that's one of many. Now, there's another few bombers up here, and we want to go after this drone tender next because he is going to be easy to kill, in theory. Well, easier, I suppose. As you can see, we're just running away from a bunch of fighters most of the time whenever enemies have carriers. But if you focus down their carriers, you don't have to worry about them anymore. They're dead. So, let's go finish this guy off. One thing I've found that seems to be a bit reliable is when you're going out here in a phase ship, just think about it as I have 30 shots between all of my phase guns. Well, between all of my antimatter blasters. You don't have different antimatter blasters. You have, 30 salvos of these. That way you're not worrying about, do I have the, having to think about ammo individually. You're just thinking about it collectively. And so our antimatter blasters, they're recharged, so let's go and kill this guy. Plus, if you miss, you want to just hope that the other shot actually finishes off the enemy. But I haven't used one important thing here yet. That's his special. Which basically, I don't know if it doubles the damage, but it increases it by a very large amount. A pronounced amount of damage. Basically, I think it managed to overcharge this guy instantly. Which is pretty good. Let's go ahead and use it again. And kill it. Now, we don't have any point defense. So that means if we wanted to kill these guys, we'd have to, shoot them acting blasters. Which we can't really do. So we wouldn't be able to deal with them. But again, that's not what this ship is designed to do. This ship is designed to kill This ship is designed to kill frigates. Not even really frigates, though, because they're kind of small. It's designed to kill destroyers, cruisers, and battleships. Or capitals, whatever they're called. So, there you go. The Afflictor. The dual antimatter blaster Afflictor. Don't even bother with some sort of point defense. It's not going to be worth it. These seem to have been nerfed into oblivion, so don't bother. And putting 3 on it, it's not going to be worth it. To get all 3 to even fire, you have to go higher than you have in capacitors. So we could maybe get there if we go with an adjunct. Even then, we need. Well, we can do it but we would need 4,500 fire all 3, and we can't even fit that on if we want the hardened subsystems. Get rid of those. We could fit another one on there, but at this point, we are heavily overpaying. We are heavily investing so that we have 3 of them, so that we can fire all 3 of them potentially, but we can't really stay in phase very long because of that, and so if we're going to fire all 3 of them, as such, it's probably not useful to do it. Now you could swap this around if you wanted to and put, say, Reaper torpedoes on there, or something like. Well, you can't put torpedoes on there anymore. You could put something like railguns on, or something else that has a fairly long cooldown. I think railguns pretty much fits the bill. This is a 5-second cooldown, so that could work. So you could do this, but and these are really great against shields, but you're going to run into the issue of, would you rather just have these dedicated and do massive burst damage and be able to do lots of damage to everything, or would you rather have these specialize into shooting down shields even when many ships you may not even be exposed to their shields? Like many larger hegemony ships don't have shields in the back. They just don't. And so if you balance yourself around while taking down shields, now you're coming at them from the front. So maybe this would be viable against high-tech ships, whereas this would be viable against almost everything, if not everything. So yeah, this is probably a bit better. This is the pirate version. The full version, I think, has more ordnance, and it has 2 more slots, I think. But you don't want to put too much more on there, or you run into the situation where you just can't manage to fire all your guns. Remember, if you don't have the flux to reliably fire all your guns before the gun you fired is off cooldown, you effectively have fewer guns. That's one of those things. If we were to go down to this and we're going to max this out, well, we could fire both of them without any flux. Or realistically, if we did that, we might as well just put one of those here and then put lots of cool stuff on it. Like maybe we make it to where it turns really fast, or this is only for beam weapons, or something. We could do something with it to make it really good at integrated targeting units. We could do other things, maybe make it dump its flux faster, make it fly faster, or what have you. But the main thing is, it would still just be one gun, and sure, we would burn off flux very quickly, but would we necessarily burn it off in the amount of time? Well, we would, obviously, but yeah, I don't know. With this, you'd just be better off using this than just doing this route. But yeah. Anyway, dual antimatter blaster. Really good ship. It was pretty much my staple in big ship energy back in version 0.91, I think it was. But amazing. Great ship to have. Kills things consistently. And can be piloted by the AI and still kill things. Alright guys, my name has been Finmer, this has been Starsector version 0.95A, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.